What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and some more Birthright for you today. So we got a quick one as we continue on with our domain actions, and that is disband, which is a more or less exactly what it sounds like. We're going to disband military units here. So success is automatic, but this mentioned 5 up. We'll talk about that in a second. There's no base cost because, hey, we're saying you guys are no longer needed, and it is a free action. So a region is always free to dismiss army units or mercenaries from their service. Regular army units simply break up and go home. But disbanding a mercenary unit does have some potential risks. So, however, it requires a success roll. If the regent fails, the mercenaries actually become brigands, and then they begin raiding the province in which they are disbanded. So you definitely want to be careful of when and where you're disbanding those. Now you can go back and see the random events for the effects of brigandage, and you can kind of maybe add some twists and flavors to that as well as you see fit. So maybe they don't turn that bad, or maybe there's some other effects of that. So especially if you've been paying them for quite some time and maybe paying them well, maybe up to the DM's discretion, of course, on how to treat that. But, you know, that could be a rough one, potentially, depending on how many mercs you were employing, especially if you had an all-merc army and suddenly you don't want to pay them anymore. That could be quite rough. So moving on, the regent can also choose to disband any holding or castle, although regency and gold bars production may suffer from that. The only advantage to this action is saving maintenance costs involved. So now if you had to build a fort and it's just costing you too much and maybe it's no longer needed because you've secured a long-term peace, or, well, the border that the fortification was at is really no longer needed because maybe you just expanded your territory and now the borders are a little bit further. There's, you know, any number of reasons for it, but probably far less frequent to disband those kind of things because it does take a lot of time and resources to build them up in the first place. So now if it is mostly destroyed, it's not worth salvaging. That could be one, but yeah, a side use of disband. But that is it for this one, guys. It's very quick. The main thing is really, again, just being careful with mercenary usage. We'll talk about that more with armies when we get back around to that, but just be careful of how many mercenaries you hire and when and where you decide that their services are no longer needed. So let us know what you think on disband, guys. Have you ever had anything fun happen with that, again, in relation to mercenaries or as a result of getting rid of a fortification? Drop us a like, a comment, and a subscribe, and we'll be back with more Birthright for you soon. Take care.